Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little remake of one of the videos that I did back in Kentucky. Just because I had the camera and it was moving all over the place and it was just so distracting, so I wanted to redo it. I am at the pool in Colorado. We are having some fun. These two are eating some snacks. I just wanted to do a remake of this video. I wanted to really touch base on perseverance and things like getting over things that are out of our control and what we don't have control over, and how to kind of put those on the back burner in our head, not to focus on whenever we have a certain goal. Because life is life, guys, and we're going to go through things that are unexpected, and especially it sucks going through these things alone. And being a single parent, I do everything, by myself, and it's when something hits me unexpected, such as, just silly things like maybe a flat tire or unexpected bills, or that phone call, or just random things that pop up that you weren't expecting along, that goes along in your daily routine or life. It's life. It's unexpected. So the one thing I wanted to tell you guys, because I get this a lot. I get this a lot from girls that, meet me, or the girls that know me. They say, Dawn, how do you do it? Dawn, you have such a perfect life, and this, that, and the other thing. And it's no, I don't, guys. I wish I had a camera with me 24/7, because, social media is crazy, and it presents me as this model and me as this single mom that is accomplishing, great things. And in my head, it's so hard to keep pushing every day, because things do happen in my life that I'm whoa, I just felt like I got hit by a semi-truck, and I do break down, and I do have these bad days. It's crazy, because I do deal with depression, and some days I just don't feel like being anything. And it's very important to keep your mind right and to keep focused on the outcome. So with that being said, I want to talk about when I decided to move to Colorado. A lot of things started happening, and hold on, go get that now. Thank you. One of the things, when I decided to move to Colorado, I had to map out a plan. I had to get in my head.
Why is this on my chair?
I don't know, sweetheart. The main thing that I needed to focus on, and that was money, because I need money to move across the country. I need money to support my kids. I need money to, we all need money, period. I hate that the world revolves around money and your life revolves around money, but that's just the way it is. And so I decided that I was going to work 6 days a week, save up some money. I wanted to pay off 2 of my credit cards before I moved. And I had a year. I put it in my head, and I wrote it down, my goals before I wanted to move to Colorado. I did 2 different goals, actually. I did the goals that I wanted to accomplish before I moved to Colorado, and then I wrote down the goals that I wanted to accomplish in Colorado. the first like 6 months of Colorado. And why I did that is I wanted to kind of like, if something bad happened or things that threw me off, or if I had doubts in my head, I wanted to be able to look at these things and keep focused on the goals to reach Colorado, but also on the exciting goals that I had planned in Colorado while I was in Colorado, so I could like just map it all out and see it. This is so crazy. I started working 6 days a week, and with that, on Saturday nights, I didn't have anybody to help me with my kids. So I had to make the decision in my head that my son's 10 years old. Sorry. My son is 10 years old. He's completely legal to watch my daughter, who is 5. It wasn't what I wanted. Like, it's not what I wanted, guys, is to have my 10-year-old, especially with the childhood that I had growing up. I didn't have much of a childhood. I felt terrible leaving my son home, but I knew that what I had to do in order to get to my goals. So I got him a cell phone, and I worked like 7 minutes away too, so it really wasn't a big deal. And my neighbor was next door. Like, we lived in like a little like subdivision, and I had her checking on them, but it still like broke my heart that my son was responsible for my daughter, at just 10 years old. Yes, it was just like once a week, and yes, it was just for like 6 hours, and then she was like in bed too. I didn't leave. It was like Saturday nights. I would leave around like 3:30, so I wouldn't get home till late. But that's where I made like most of my money to save and to pay off my credit card bills. Put it down, please. Go play. Go play. Where was I? So hard to keep track in your brain with 2 kids running around. But I knew that I had to do it. I had to write down my sacrifices that I was willing to do before I moved to Colorado. And my son's so much stronger because of it. With that being said, though, I guess my grandma talked to her friend about my kids being home, and my grandma's friend like flipped out saying that my kids shouldn't be home by themselves, and called CPS on me. So I was getting ready to work out actually at my house, and there's a knock on my door, and sure enough, it's CPS. They came in, they talked to me, they were like, we had a phone call saying that you're leaving your kids home by themselves, blah, 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 and I explained to them. I was like, yeah, I am. I'm leaving my son and my daughter home on Saturday nights up to 6 hours, because I had researched that you can leave your kids home if they are able to take care of themselves. Now, I wouldn't leave my 5-year-old home by themselves, but my son's pretty mature, so I base it off that as well. He helps me out a lot, and they completely told me what I was doing was, please stop. Hold on, guys, sorry. Go over here and play, or we're going to go back to the house. Go over here and play, or we're going to go back to the house. It's broken. Can't you see that it's broken? Anyways, CPS was called on me, and they came to my house. They checked everything out. They checked, my water, refrigerator, make sure I had food. They talked to my kids. And I flat out told them, I said, look, I know this is legal, and I know that I'm not going to be in trouble for it. And they didn't deny it either. They wrote me out like a goal plan. It's like a goal plan for like 45 days or whatever, to watch me, to be under a watch, and to drive by my house, to come into my house whenever, you know, they please. Not whenever I'm home, of course. It was really heartbreaking, and it destroyed me, you know. And I did have my grandma giving me a hard time about it. My grandma is like one of the most important people in my life. I say that she's my angel, and she is the reason why I did turn out with such drive and motivation to be better and not, you know, go downhill. She gave me that love that I needed to push me forward. But in this point in time, I got very angry with my grandmother. And I was like, why are you talking about, you know, my life? And, you know, I've got certain goals that I want to reach. And I've got, you know, most people aren't ready to give up things that make them uncomfortable. And yeah, it made me uncomfortable to leave my kids home by themselves on a Saturday night. You know, I did everything possible to keep them safe, and I made sure that they were safe. And it destroyed me. It really did, because my mom has probably like 18 cases on her with CPS, and it broke my heart that I had a case on me. So that was one of the things in my head. Like, I was like, what am I doing? I don't want to work anymore on Saturday nights. I was very down about that, because it made me feel like a piece of crap. It, you know, it just sucked being slapped in the face like that. So not even, this is in August. This is like all in August. This is like right when I decided that I was moving to Colorado, that I was gonna bust my butt and move to Colorado. And it wasn't about like a week later, I got a phone call from my caseworker, the social worker, that came and checked out my home. Which, by the way, they told me that there was nothing wrong going on, but they still had to keep the case open, and that they were sorry, and that I was going through this. And, you know, it was kind of relieving that they apologized to me, but they still had to do their job. It wasn't about like a week later that I got a phone call from the social worker saying, Dawn, I'm so sorry. But we got a phone call, a report on you saying that you're doing drugs and blah, 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 blah. I seriously broke down. I go, what are you talking about? I was on my way to work, and I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, we got a phone call, and we have to take action on it because they got a phone call. And I said, are you freaking kidding me? You guys, like I was like, ask Judge Mailing. That he knows all about my, you know, parents or my mom. I literally freaked out on the social worker because I was so upset. I was crying. I was like, you guys are taking up my time, my money. Like, this is the money that could be going towards my savings. She was like, you have to do a mandatory drug test right away. I was like, fine, I'll do whatever. And so I had to skip work, which was money that I was missing out on what I wanted to put towards my goals. I went downtown. I had to go to Newport. And while sitting in that place, I was looking at all these people, and I'm like, I am nothing like any of these people. Like, there was a lady that came in with her daughter, and the daughter, 7-year-old daughter, had to get a drug test. And it made me feel like shit even being in there. And no offense to anybody that's gone through that or whatever, the mistakes that you guys have made, but that is not me. And to be kind of like associated and in that position, I felt like a piece of shit. just even being there. It was just gross. And I was so mad to even have to be there. So I ended up taking the drug test. They did a 10-panel drug test on me. So that means they tested me for everything. They tested me for like heroin, tested me for like opiates, weed. They tested me for everything. And then I had to like pee in front of somebody, and that was uncomfortable. I was like, what? This is crazy. I've never had to do anything like this. And then she turns around and says, you're negative. I was so angry. And I looked at her and I was like, well, duh. I'm not on any drugs. I'm just trying to survive in life right now with my piece of shit mom, you know, that can't even take care of 8 of her kids. She never raised a single one till 18. You know, like, I'm like, why are you guys, you can look at these cases and look back. Like, I was just so angry. So that happened. On top of this, I was going to football about 5 days a week for my son. You know, he was playing football for the first time. That was exciting. I was just super busy. I ended up losing my wallet, so I had to go through all of that, go through filling out, getting my social security cards and stuff back. What I really want you guys to get out of this is perseverance and remembering what your focus and your goal is. And things in life will pop up and they will knock you down, but you got to make sure you got to get right back up. Doesn't matter how long it really takes you to get right back up. Just make sure you, every day, it's a process. You know, like if you're crawling to get to what goal that you want to do and what's important to you. So with that being said, on a positive note, it only took me 8 months to get out to Colorado, which is pretty cool because I had a year. And being able to do all of that with the different things that were popping up month to month and saving and keeping my mind right. Trust me, there were many nights that I cried myself to sleep. And there was many days where I thought, why am I doing this? I need to stay in Kentucky. I can't do this. But I just stayed focused. And, you know, stay focused on the things that you can control, like the CPS incidents with me. I couldn't control any of that. I can't control what other people do. I can't control other people's thoughts of me. I can't control any of that. So I had to get my mind right and just stay strong and just remember my main focus and remind myself that I am a good mom, because I was having doubts going through that. So eventually they closed my case and I was able to be good. And I think it did take a little bit over like 45 days. They closed my case. I didn't have to go to court or anything. I think once they realized, once I took that drug test, they realized, or they may have like looked into other cases like with my mom and with my family, that they realized that they're wasting their time. And you know, it was awesome to have the social workers apologize to me as well and tell me that I'm okay, that I'm doing everything fine, and that I'm not doing anything illegal. But
Look at all my feet prints.
on a side note, everything's good. I'm in Colorado finally, and I'll be posting I think there's like another video that I've done, because there's more things that did happen in Kentucky while I was like trying to move. This life's just crazy, and I just wanted to let you guys know about that little incident that happened. It was very discouraging to me, and you just have to remind yourself to keep pushing forward. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you guys have any questions for me, you can go ahead and write me on here or contact me on any like social media.